Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm attended the opening of the 14th National Trade Union Congress for the 2026 to 2031 tenure.
Iran sets Lebanon-related conditions to end war with US and Israel.
Anxiety over the fading of a centuries-old shipbuilding craft.
Hello everyone, you are watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Đăng. Let's get started. The 14th Vietnam Trade Union Congress 2026-2031 officially opened on the morning of June 4th at the National Convention Center in Hanoi. The Congress brought together party and state leaders and 780 delegates representing over 10 million trade union members nationwide.
The Congress evaluated that the 2023 to 2026 tenure achieved many outstanding results in protecting the rights and interests of workers. Over the past 3 years, the total funding allocated to support union members and workers reached over 27 trillion Vietnamese dongs. Notably, nearly 384,000 workers' initiatives were recognized, generating an economic benefit of over 40 trillion Vietnamese dongs. Entering the new tenure with the motto, Solidarity, Democracy, Discipline, Innovation, Development. The Congress identified 2 strategic breakthrough areas: improving the quality of trade union officials and boosting the application of science, technology, and digital transformation in trade union activities. The Congress also set a goal to develop at least 4 million new union members and achieve 100% digitization of union member data by the end of the tenure. Party General Secretary and State President Tô Lâm delivered a keynote guidance speech at the Congress. In the afternoon of the same day, the Congress continued its working agenda with the election of the 14th Executive Committee of the Vietnam General Confederation of Labor.
Iranian Foreign Minister emphasized that the war between the US, Israel, and Iran would only conclude when the conflict in Lebanon also comes to an end.
They offered negotiation.
According to CNN on June 4, Mr. Araghchi stated in an interview with the Arab media outlet Al Mayadeen that Tehran holds the same position regarding a ceasefire and the same position regarding ending the war. He also stressed that ending the war must mean the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Lebanon. Iran has repeatedly declared that any ceasefire agreement must include Lebanon, a condition that now risks disrupting the ongoing U.S. negotiation process with Iran. In the latest development on June 3, Israel and Lebanon agreed to implement a ceasefire, but emphasized that this agreement requires a complete cessation of Hezbollah's bombardment.
The administration of U.S. President Donald Trump has proposed imposing additional tariffs of up to 12.5% on goods imported from 60 countries and territories, after concluding that these trading partners have not taken strong enough measures to prevent the use of forced labor in their supply chains.
Under the proposal, the U.S. will levy an extra 10% tariff on imports from 15 trading partners, including Canada, the European Union, EU, the UK, Mexico, Indonesia, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, among others. The Office of the U.S. Trade Representative stated that while these partners have made commitments or action plans to address forced labor, the implementation results have not yet met Washington's expectations. Meanwhile, the remaining 45 countries, including major economies such as India, China, and South Korea, will face higher tariffs of up to 12.5%. The European Commission argued that the new tariffs are unjustified, while China also voiced its opposition to these unilateral tariff measures.
Coming up next are some updated news.
According to the Department of Overseas Labor, from the beginning of the year to the end of May, the country sent over 53,100 workers abroad under contract, achieving 48% of the annual target. Japan continues to be the largest recipient of Vietnamese labor with over 24,000 workers, followed by Taiwan, China, with over 21,000 workers, and South Korea with over 3,200 workers. In 2026, the target for sending Vietnamese workers abroad under contract is 112,000 people. Notably, effective from May 15, 2026, Circular No. 04 of the Ministry of Home Affairs on regulations for sending workers abroad will officially take effect, contributing to enhanced management and transparency of service fees.
According to the Nigerian Statistics Office, the Consumer Price Index, CPI, in May 2026 within the province rose by 4.4% compared to the same period last year. On average, the CPI for the first 5 months of the year recorded a similar increase. Overall, the general price level fluctuated slightly. An abundant supply of goods at markets helped stabilize prices, ensuring the government's inflation control target. During the month, 6 out of 11 commodity groups saw price increases compared to the previous month, including transport, culture, entertainment, and tourism, housing, electricity, water, and construction materials, postal and telecommunications, beverages and tobacco, and education. Conversely, 4 groups experienced price decreases: food and catering services, household equipment and appliances, garments, hats, and footwear.
To address difficulties during the implementation of the land law, Nghệ province has just issued a new regulation on compensation, support, and resettlement when land is acquired by the state. One of the notable highlights is the rental assistance policy for households eligible for resettlement but who have not yet been allocated residential land or resettlement housing. Under the regulation, households required to relocate will receive rental subsidies while waiting for resettlement allocation. The highest support rate is 5 million Vietnamese dongs per month per household. Applicable in wards and communes including Trong Vinh, Ton Vinh, Vinh Hung, Vinh Phu, Vinh Loc, Kua Lo, Hoang Mai, Queen Mai, Tan Mai, Tai Hoa, Tay Hu, and Don Hu. The remaining localities will receive a support rate of 4 million Vietnamese dongs per month per household.
With a history spanning nearly 700 years, the Trung Kiên shipbuilding craft village in Hà Lộc Commune was once a source of pride for generations of coastal fishermen in Nghệ An province. Today, however, changing market demands and shifting livelihoods have placed the traditional craft under the increasing pressure. Preserving and passing down this centuries-old trade has become a formidable challenge. Yet, a number of dedicated craftsmen continue to keep the tradition alive, not only to preserve the crafts itself, but also to honor the memories, heritage, and pride of their ancestors in this coastal community.
Within the hundreds of square meters of space belonging to the family of Mr. Hoang Van Le, director of the Trung Kiên Shipbuilding and Carpentry Cooperative, the craftsmen are no longer working as busily as before, having been dedicated to the trade for over 30 years. Mr. Le has witnessed both the glorious heyday and the difficult periods of this craft village. This is the trade passed down by our ancestors, so I still want to preserve it. I have invested heavily in infrastructure and machinery, but more importantly, it is out of sheer love for the craft that I still strive to maintain this traditional craft. From the late 1990s to around 2017 was considered the most prosperous era for the Trung Kiên shipbuilding craft village. Back then, dozens of facilities operated continuously, creating stable jobs for hundreds of local workers. In 2003, the Trung Kiên Shipbuilding Craft Village Cooperative was established, helping to streamline shipbuilding operations and turning it into a vital livelihood for many coastal families. During our peak era, we had about 35 shipbuilding facilities, providing jobs for 400 to 500 workers with relatively stable incomes. Now, only 3 households are maintaining the shipbuilding trade. Faced with numerous market fluctuations, the demand for wooden shipbuilding has gradually declined, while the costs of raw materials and labor continue to rise, forcing many shipyards to downsize their operations.
17, 18 rồi tôi bắt đầu đi học nghề rồi.
I have been in this trade for over 20 years. In shipbuilding, the technique and quality are what matter most, but the biggest challenge right now is the shortage of skilled labor. Amidst these changes, those who still stick with the trade are quietly keeping the fire of the craft village alive, using all their dedication and the experience accumulated over many years. Currently, the local authority is focused on maintaining the traditional craft village, creating favorable conditions for households to continue production, finding ways to promote the craft, and supporting its development. Having existed and developed for nearly 700 years, even though its golden age has passed, the flame of the craft in Trung Kien has never been extinguished. For more than just a livelihood, it is the trade of their ancestors, the memory of a coastal estuary that has been bound to these ships for hundreds of years.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.